think the biggest thing we kind of forget about as we go through self-improvement, as we start getting better, is we can kind of lose our track of focus, our train of thought, our train of momentum. You can almost kind of feel it start chugging to a stop once you start focusing on too many things in your mind get clouded by judgment, by choices, by people, relationships, things that go on. There's multiple things that can kind of happen, and if you're in this kind of spot that I was at or I'm currently in, where it's like you know exactly what you want, but sometimes while you're just doing the task, there's multiple other thoughts that are going on inside of your head. You kind of have to need to learn how to expel those thoughts. The biggest thing that I've been learning as I start getting better at self-improvement, locking in on more things, is that the more clutter you have inside of your mind, the harder it is for you to be able to sort it out. You have to learn how to kill the noise. That's the biggest thing. There's a lot of noise that goes on in your brain, to calculations on how to survive, to what are you going to eat, to what are you going to do later on, who are you going to call, who are you going to text, multiple other things. And there's so much stuff that goes on inside of the human brain that you kind of forget that sometimes when you're locked in on your purpose, that there's other things that you have to worry about. So then once these things start kind of clogging in and getting inside of your mind along with you chasing your purpose or trying to get better, it feels like, oh my God, it feels like, whoa, I'm not doing enough, I'm not getting anything done, things is not moving in the right way, different things, stuff like that. You kind of feel like everything you've been doing, that momentum, like that happy feeling you had, almost kind of just vanishes like that. Like, you go from being extremely happy to the progress that you've been seeing, whether it's minimal, whether it's amazing progress. The progress you've been making, you feel amazing about it. And then sometimes when you go through different processes or you go through different things, you'll go from feeling that euphoric feeling to feeling like I'm not doing enough. There's always more. There's always other things that I can do. Because the more noise you have in your brain, the more harder it's going to be for you to get clarity on your thoughts. The harder it is for you to be able to discern certain things from, what's right from wrong, what do I need to actually focus on, to what needs to get cut out of my life, to what is most important to me, to what is not most important to me, right? So you have to take those times when you feel like your brain is cluttered the most, and you have to declutter it. You have to learn how to kill the noise, whatever that task might be for you. I hope it's not anything that involves you, killing your discipline or anything, but for some people it might be going on a drive. For some people it might be like me coming outside in nature, or even like me going to talk to somebody who you're really close with, right? Talking to people that you actually enjoy having conversations with, or just being alone inside of your own mind. You have to learn how to kill the noise. You have to learn how to just declutter your space, declutter the mental room that's in your head, just to be able to refocus back in and redial back in. Because like I've said before, when you have too much noise inside of your brain, there's not enough brain power going towards what actually needs to get done. You're too focused on too many things that may not even be in your control. You're focused on what somebody else might be doing when you don't need to be focused on them, because how are you going to control another person's actions? You're focused on what your job might be feeling. You might be focused on multiple other things that's going on with your friends, families, whatever. You have to realize that if it's not in your control, you have to let it go. It just has to leave. You have to declutter your space. You have to allow yourself the mental fortitude, but not only that, you have to give yourself the leeway of knowing that sometimes on the path it is going to get cluttered. There's going to be a lot of bumps in the road, like I've said before, but what really matters is, are you able to go through these bumps? Are you able to go through the bumps that are being thrown at you multiple times and be able to just go over them no matter what happens, right? You have to learn that these things that come into your life that you start worrying about, that start cluttering up your head, they're merely just speed bumps that are trying to take you off the path. You just have to learn that, okay, all I need to do is go over these speed bumps. And 9 times out of 10, it really just either matters on confronting the feeling or just actually going to do something that's going to declutter that thought from your brain, and then allowing yourself the ability to come back to it when you're not in a space where you feel so overwhelmed by your own thoughts. I'm going to be very honest with you. When you go through self-improvement, I know a lot of people in the space like to say, oh, you're going to feel overwhelmed, just tough it out, blah, blah, blah. No, listen, mental health is very important when it comes to self-improvement. Keeping yourself happy, healthy, doing the things that you love is very important when it comes to self-improvement, right? And like I said, your improving yourself should be able to help your own mental, in my opinion. When it comes to, getting better in the gym, getting better at your diet, your better faith with the universe, with God, with, family, your relationships, people in your life, locking on your purpose, that in of itself should be healing you mentally, knowing that you're going day in, day out, chasing something that's helping you feel like the person you're supposed to be. But sometimes, even when you're going through that journey, there's a lot of things that kind of get, thrown into the mix from all these things that you're trying to improve. And, it may be big or it may be small, but still, even then, it's still noise. It's still cluttering your brain. It's still fog that's inside of your mind. Like, even just coming outside to declutter your mind is super important. It's super important to what you allow into it, right? When you are chasing the best version of yourself, when you're trying to accomplish goals and tasks that you want to get done, you need to realize, again, it's gonna get noisy in there. It's gonna get noisy in here. It's gonna be, a lot of things running through your brain that a lot of people you won't allow people to hear. Right? And like I said before, you need to have some type of way to let these thoughts out, because if you allow these thoughts to sit there, they're actually going to lead you to burnout. The one thing I've realized is that burnout isn't really you not enjoying the task. It's the fact that you have this big task that's, needs to get done, but there's so many other little things that are surrounding it that is causing you to not want to work at it. 9 times out of 10, if I've ever felt burnout, it's not because I actually don't want to do the thing. It's because there's so many little things that go into me doing this big task I don't want to do. That's when you feel burnt out. So if you've ever felt burnt out from doing something, you kind of have to just ask yourself the question of, am I sick of the task, or am I sick of the steps that I need to take to get and complete this task? That's the real question. If you can ask yourself that and see where you differentiate of, okay, is it the task that I don't enjoy anymore, or is it the task or the steps that I don't enjoy anymore? Do the steps make me not want to do the task, or does the task not make me want to do the steps? What is it? You need to figure out what it is, because burnout 9 times out of 10, like I said, is just you not wanting to go through that because there's a lot of noise going on. You may be wanting to go edit. Okay, you need to edit this video because you need to get a video out today, right? But to go into editing, you need to sit down, you need to record the video, you need to, edit the video, script the video, you need to get the microphone, you need to, make sure your camera settings are all right, you need to charge your batteries, you need to get another SD card, you need to find a spot to record, multiple different things, and there's multiple things that kind of go into it. And then as you're doing that, you're like, oh my God, I have to do this task. But then there's noise, there's filter, there's fog in your brain. You're thinking, oh my gosh, like, wait, hold on, I have to charge my batteries, but I still have to do laundry. I have to do this, but like, I'm still worried about what I said at work. Like, maybe that person didn't feel good about what I said, or I need to go, lock in on my business real quick, go handle a couple calls, go do what you need to do. But then there's, people, places, things, small tasks that you're thinking about in the background that are making you just overthink these things. So while you're doing them, you're not even truly focused on the task. You're just focused on the background. You're just focused on the noise that is involved with these tasks. 9 times out of 10, you're thinking of, oh shit, I didn't do laundry. Oh shit, I didn't cook today. Oh shit, I didn't go to the gym today. Oh shit, I didn't do XYZ today. And as you keep telling yourself you didn't do all of these things, all this just clogs on, and it just gets to a point where you want to do the task, but you're so bogged down by everything else, you don't want to do it. Right? You just don't feel the need, the want, or the desire to do so. You just have a lot of noise in your brain. And that's the biggest thing, is noise it's something you're going to deal with. Inevitably, it's going to pop up into your life. It's something that literally every human, every entrepreneur, every single human being will deal with. You don't even have to be an entrepreneur. You could be a regular Joe Schmo working a 9 to 5. You could be anybody. And there's going to be multiple times where you want to do something, or you need to do something, and instead of doing it, you're thinking about all these other tasks that you didn't do or that need to get done. And while you're doing your big task, you're not even truly focused on it, because you're still focused on everything else that you didn't finish, or you're still focused on all this noise that's making it to the point where you don't even want to do the steps to get your task done, to get whatever, the big thing that moves the needle forward every single day done, right? And I just realized that, I'm not burnt out. I just had a lot of things I need to focus on. So let me just cut these distractions. Let me go outside. Let me, filter down. Let me have a conversation with my father, right? Let me, sit down, enjoy the sunshine, enjoy the birds, the trees, right? Enjoy everything. It's a beautiful day outside, and just declutter my mind so that way I can get into a space where, okay, cool, let's go. And I realized I'm not burnt out. I still love this shit. I still love making content. I still love talking to all of you. I was not burnt out. I just had a lot of noise in my brain. And that's the big difference. If there's too much noise, there's not enough brain power to compute for what you need to get done. So again, when you start trying to do the bigger task, right, that requires more focus, more energy, more of your brain power to be, pushed towards it, then once you get to the point of you have all this other stuff that's going around, once you get to that task, you can't really focus because your brain power is all just set on this one minor little thing, this one minor little setback, these multiple little minor setbacks that just kind of culminate into one big thing in your mind. And you need to realize that these are just steps that are just super small, and the first way to just do it, to get rid of it, is to just go outside, declutter your mind, go do whatever, take a drive, come back, and just start doing them all one by one. Like if you didn't do laundry, you're starting to feel overwhelmed because you haven't cleaned the house. Okay, so before you start, the business, whatever else it might be, getting the business work done, declutter your brain, declutter all that fog, get all of that shit done. Cool, get it done. Now we move on to the task that requires way more thinking, way more mental process, way more brain power to be used. Do you see what I'm saying? It's decluttering the brain, clutter the fog, kill the noise, learn how to kill the noise. You can pretty much just conquer anything. Your mind will become your own playground. You'll become the own chef. Your mind will be like a kitchen, and every single time you can just pick, okay, I don't need these ingredients, throw these away, but these are fresh new ingredients, yeah, bring them in. Or maybe I need to add these ingredients to my main dish, which might be your purpose. Maybe it's doing multiple things, and the ingredients are steps you need to do to push the purpose further, right? And you are literally the Gordon Ramsay of your mind. You can choose what you want to let into your kitchen and what you want to let out of your kitchen. You get to choose it. So you just need to learn that sometimes the small tasks, the things that you feel like are overwhelming you, aren't overwhelming you. It's just the noise. Learn how to kill the noise. You learn how to conquer it all. Be a conqueror.